Have you ever wondered why it's so easy for you to support and encourage others, but when it comes to yourself, you're your own toughest critic? Today, we're going to be diving into how you can flip that very narrative and you start building a relationship with the most important person in your life, yourself. So, if that's something you're interested in, then let's just dive into the video.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that.
Hey guys, what is poppin'? It's your girl Tawana, aka T, where everyone wants to be at the end of the day, and I am back with another video. As you would have seen from the intro, today we're going to be talking about how we're going to build the most important relationship in our lives, which is with ourselves. So I've kind of split this up into two main sections. We're going to look at the deep work in order for you to build that relationship with yourself. But also we're going to look at some small little tips and tricks that you can start implementing ASAP in order to start building that relationship with yourself. So if you guys are ready, let's just dive straight into the video. So just to kind of like reiterate what I mean, when I say like deep work, this is going to be like work that's going to be ongoing and for the long run, whereas the other stuff are quite like maybe one-off things that you could do that will help you to build a relationship. So I just wanted to kind of explain the difference between the two, and I'm just going to dive straight into the first one, which is spend more time with yourself. So I want you to think about something. Think about how relationships grow, like how they start, how they flourish into amazing relationships. Think about how your relationship started with your friends or with your partner or with your siblings. Really think about how those relationships started. They started with spending quality time with each other. Set aside time each day, even if it's 10, 15 minutes just for you. It could be journaling, it could be meditating, it could be going for a walk, it could be spending time and going on solo dates. This builds awareness and reconnects you with the inner world. So one great way that I like to do this is taking myself on solo dates. I have mentioned this in multiple times in my videos. I like to go to coffee shops, and at first, I won't lie, especially when I started this year, 2024, I put it off for months. Why would I go out by myself? It's weird. Where's my friends? People's gonna think I'm a loner. People's gonna think I'm weird. At the end of the day, you can't really give up what people think about you, but it's important because you get to figure out what you like and what you don't like. You get to figure out how you act and how you are in person and how you behave in public. And I've really started to enjoy it. Another thing when I've noticed is when I go to these coffee shops, there's a lot of people by themselves doing and cracking on with whatever they've got going on in their lives. So you're not the only one. People care too much about themselves to care that you're doing the date by yourself. Do you know what I mean? And the people that do care have too much time on their hands to be worried about why you're in the cinema or why you're at a cafe by yourself. And this is gonna be ongoing. You can't just go once. This is gonna be a reoccurring thing. Maybe schedule one day a month if you're on a tight budget, maybe two, maybe once a week, depending on what your budget is, depending on what you can afford. Maybe start scheduling time in the month for you to spend some quality time with yourself. And that doesn't just have to be out in public. That could be with you in your room where you're doing mindful behavior, where you're journaling. It's just you making time to spend time with you, the same way you would make time to spend with a friend, family member, or anybody else. So start making time for yourself and figuring out what it is that you love to do. I do always do this disclaimer mid-video, which is so fucking annoying because I need to start doing it at the beginning. If you see me looking to the side of me or like above, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I want to make sure I cover all my points and making sure I'm not missing out anything. You see my eyes twinkling off to the side, that is why. The second thing you'll need to do in order to build a relationship with yourself is learn to listen. We listen deeply to our friends, and we're there to listen to them, to their problems, to the positives, the negatives, to everything. But how much time do we actually spend listening to our own emotions, our own thoughts, and our own feelings? Pay attention to how you feel. If something makes you happy, acknowledge it. If something makes you unease, acknowledge it. Don't ignore it and explore why. I feel like it's something we're not taught from young. I feel like a lot of people are taught to like suppress their feelings and not express it or not like discover it or find it or look further. I feel like it's very, very important in order to have that relationship why you feel the way you feel in situations, and understanding that will also make you understand yourself. Again, if we look at our current relationships with people, how we sit there and we listen to our friends, whether they're happy, sad, whatever, and we provide support. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we get to know our friends for who they are, how they act, and blah, blah, blah. You need to start doing the same with yourself. Obviously, you're not going to have a conversation with yourself and be responding to yourself, but genuinely like take a moment when you're happy. What's made you happy in that moment? Genuinely take a few seconds when you're angry or when you're frustrated or when you're sad or when you're annoyed or when you're upset. Genuinely take a second thinking like, okay, what in that situation made me upset? Like, why was I upset? Why did my stomach tense up? Why did my hands get clampy? Why have I started sweating? Like, really figure out what it is that's like upset you or made you happy or whatever emotion that's been displayed, and acknowledge that, because now you know what makes you happy. Now you know what makes you sad. Now you know what makes you frustrated, and that's very, very important. You're already doing it for your friend. So why are you not doing it for yourself? Okay, again, this is going to be one that's going to take some time, because at first you might not realize that you need to acknowledge your emotions, because when I first started, I would just be happy and not realize I've been happy. But now I intentionally take time out to think about, okay, cool, what in that situation made me happy? What in that situation made me sad? What in that situation made me frustrated? What in that situation pissed me off? And now I know like my triggers. Now I know what upsets me. Now I know what makes me happy. Now I know what gets me excited, what gets me bubbly, and all of these kind of things. So take that time out. This is going to be an ongoing journey, but like genuinely take time to listen to yourself, because you're already doing it for others. So you need to start doing it for yourself. Okay, moving on to the next point. So the third thing you're going to want to work on is practicing self-compassion. I want you to start talking to yourself like you would talk to your friends. Again, these are the best examples I'm going to use for you to understand how important it is to build that relationship with yourself. When you mess up, swap out that harsh voice in your head with the kind one. Remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes, learn and grow from them. I feel like in life, we are always our biggest critics, and we're so quick to pound down on ourselves when we make mistakes. But I want you to just quickly think about something. In that exact situation where you failed, or you've got something wrong, or you didn't like how you behaved or whatever, and your friend has called you in that exact scenario that you've just gone through, what would you tell your friend on the phone? Just take a few minutes to think that out. What would you actually tell your friend on the phone? I promise you 9 out of 10, you wouldn't be talking how you're talking to yourself right now. How that inner voice in your head is talking to you right now. You would reassure your friend. You would hype them up. You would boost up their confidence. You would give them advisement. You would be very, very supportive, even though they didn't get the results that they want. Because you know why? You're a good friend. You need to put that same energy into yourself. Why is it when your friend gets something wrong, you are understanding, you're compassionate, and you're supportive, but when it's you, you're the worst critic ever. You're the toughest critic ever. Perfectionism is a real thing. I am very, very guilty of that. You should see me when I edit my YouTube videos. Oh my God. But I do believe in growth, and I do believe in learning. And when I do get things wrong, or if I do make a mistake, before I'm so quick to pound down on myself, I just take a moment and think about, cool, what if this was my friend? I've got a friend called Shanice. What if it was Shanice, I say sometimes in my head? I wouldn't speak to them how I'm speaking to myself right now. So I feel like it's very, very important for you to have that same mindset. Again, it's not going to happen straight away. You might not be able to pause that critic in your head straight away. This is going to be something that you're going to need to assess and be aware of moving forward. But try to take a pause before you start getting onto yourself and think about, okay, cool, if this was my friend right now, what would I say to her? And go from there. Okay. So number 4 is setting boundaries, and this is a big one. I feel like I speak about boundaries a lot in my videos, and I'm gonna keep speaking about boundaries until you guys, my audience, understands how important it is in your life. Building a relationship with yourself means valuing your own space and your own energy. Say no when you need to. Prioritize your mental health and emotional well-being. Boundaries aren't walls, they are bridges to bettering self-respect. You need to respect yourself. You need to, or no one else will. And when you're building this relationship with yourself, you're going to need to understand that you're going to need certain boundaries in order to be the person you want to be, in order to be treated how you want to be treated. You're going to need to set some boundaries. Everybody should have boundaries, and everyone should respect those boundaries. And the people who feel like they don't need to respect those boundaries, well, you know where the door is. Do you know what I mean? And you got to be the same with yourself. Setting boundaries is so, so important. If you really love and care for yourself, you will put a perimeter around you to make sure you're at peace, to make sure you're happy, to make sure no one affects your energy, including yourself. Them negative thoughts, including all of those. Set clear boundaries with people, set clear boundaries with work, set clear boundaries with yourself in order for you to stay at peace. I feel like a big way in order to start setting boundaries for yourself is looking at you as how you want to be treated. Looking at yourself, how do you want to be treated in this world? If you are in a situation and someone's made you feel uncomfortable, you set a boundary. If someone's being disrespectful, you set a boundary. If something's disturbing your peace or your happiness, you set a boundary. Everything is about you. Prioritize how you feel in situations and your mental well-being. Forget everybody else, because it's you that's going home in your head with yourself that night. So really think about what it is that might upset you, that might trigger you, that you find disrespectful, that you find uncomfortable, and set a perimeter around yourself, because it's to protect you, and you should want to protect yourself. The same way you would protect a friend in a situation is the same way you need to protect yourself. So I want you to take some time to figure out what it is, or when you're next in a situation where you feel uncomfortable or you feel disrespected, ask yourself what it is that person did to make you feel that way, and set a boundary. Have a conversation about it, of course. Set that boundary, make it very clear, because if you don't voice these things, people's not going to know the boundaries that are in place. If you don't voice these things, people's not going to know how you want to be treated. You need to speak up, say what you need to say so people understand. And then moving forward, If that person or those people overstep that boundary or disrespect that boundary or whatever, you know where you stand in that relationship, including with yourself. So that gives you something to think about in this video whilst we move on. But boundaries is a very big one. I'm not playing with you. It's a big one. And I need you to start setting those boundaries. Okay? Okay. So moving on to the next one. This is going to be the last point that I make in regards to the long-term work you're going to need to do in order to build that relationship with yourself before we move on to the little quick tips and tricks that you can start doing straight away. So the last thing is celebrate your wins, small or big. Recognize every victory, whether it's getting out of your bed on a tough day or acing a project. Acknowledge your achievements without brushing them off like it's no big deal. I feel like in life, when we succeed in something or we hit a goal or a target, we always brush it off like it's no big deal when it really is. Because I promise you, if you look at your friends again, and they told you like they achieved X or they achieved Y or they achieved Z, you are going to be the biggest hype man in their corner. You're going to be the biggest person to support them. You're going to be the one to say, let's celebrate, let's go get a drink, let's go do this, let's go do that. So why are you not doing it for yourself? Your friends are going to hype you up regardless, especially if you've got a good batch of friends, but you need to do it yourself. Because whether you just got 100 followers, whether you just got 100 subscribers, whether you just got the job of your dreams, all of these things need to be celebrated. Do you know what I mean? Celebrate your small wins. I do it all the time. I just hit 100 followers on Instagram. I gassed myself up because it took me a flipping long time to get there, and I finally got there. When I got my first 100 subscribers, me and my boyfriend went out. Do you know what I mean? Like, really cherish, because we're so quick to hit an achievement or a milestone and then just brush it off like, okay, cool, yeah, on to the next. No, celebrate it. I've noticed that when it's not the big goals, or it may not be big in your eyes or according to social media, we like to downplay it. But you need to understand, there are stepping stones to achieving certain goals. And when you knock those milestones out the park, when you hit them milestones, you need to celebrate it, because that was a goal at one point. Just because you've hit it now, that doesn't disregard it, doesn't mean you should play it down small. Like I said, when I hit 100 followers, I gassed myself up. I took myself on a little date. When I got to 100 subbies, called my boyfriend with excitement and we went out. You deserve to celebrate your small wins, and you know what, you will cherish it more because you've put so much hard work into achieving that goal or hitting that milestone. You need to cherish it. It's a memory, it's a reflection, you deserve it. Do you know what I mean? So it's important you recognize these things in your journey. You big up yourself, you hype up yourself when you hit your goals and your achievements. Big or small, doesn't matter. You did that. Yes, you did. So celebrate yourself. When you get the job of your dreams. I remember when I moved jobs and I went from a massive company, I wasn't really that happy with it, but I was glad for the experience. I went to another company and I remember telling my dad that I wanted to be more on site. I like the site jobs and going to site and being really hands-on in a project. I didn't want to really be like the office babe all the time. I wanted a bit of both. When I got that job and they gave me the pay that they gave me, I flipping celebrated that, because I did that. Went to the interviews, the multiple interviews. I succeeded. I got hired. Out of all the candidates that was on the table, I got picked. And I prayed about it and I spoke to my dad about it, and I did that. No one else went to them interviews for me. No one else had to promote themselves or sell themselves in an interview. It was me. No one else had to share their knowledge in the construction industry. It was me. I did that. I prepped for that interview. And you know what? I got it. And I smashed it out of the park. Should I disregard that just because I got the job now? Oh, I got the job. No, I got the job. Woo! Went out for drinks. So I want you to start celebrating your wins, please. Your small ones and your big ones. Especially the small ones, because the small ones are so important. You don't even know. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to move on to the little quickie little stuff that you can start doing like now. The little bonus stuff, the actions you can start taking like literally after this video. You can start doing these things that will help you to build that relationship with yourself. So the first one we are going to start off with is writing a letter to yourself. And I feel like this can get very deep, depending on how deep you want to take it, but I took it very deep. But I feel like writing this letter to yourself is going to get very deep. I want you to dedicate some time, maybe every few months, to write a letter to your future self. Express your current thoughts, express your dreams, express your challenges that you're facing. Get really, really vulnerable with yourself. Seal it and set a reminder to open it in a year or even 5 years from now. This practice will give you a perspective on your growth, on your strength and your self-awareness over time. I have linked down below a Notion template that I made for the girlies for free. It's a reinvent yourself, future self template, and it's got all of these lovely questions. Maybe you don't know what to put in your letter, but this template has got certain questions that will allow you to start really thinking what it is you want to tell yourself or your future self, and it will kind of open Pandora's box a little bit. It's kind of to give you lot the guidance you need. You can change the pictures in there, you can switch them out, put some pictures of your own, stuff that's going to motivate you. But I feel like it's so important to answer these questions because it's letting you know where you are currently at and where you're trying to go. I think being this vulnerable with yourself, folding it up, looking back at that letter will really like open up vulnerability within yourself. I've looked back at some of my journal entries like 3, 4, 5 years ago and seen what I was writing, and the fact that I'm living it now, or I'm doing what I wanted to be doing now, it just, I can't explain it. It's emotionally overwhelming with happiness, with positivity. Sometimes it gets me upset when I read back the challenges that I was facing mentally, physically, wherever, to see how I've overcome and grown from that situation. It shows you and reminds you how much you've gone through and how far you've come. Because I feel like, again, it's so easy to forget our journey because we're living it. We forgot what we went through 5 years ago. But I'm telling you, writing these letters once a year or every 6 months will help you to do that. So I want you to do that after the video. If you're gonna do anything out of all this video, I want you to write that letter to yourself and fold it out, or even if it's digital on your note, lock it and come back to it a year from now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be vulnerable. It might get you a bit emotional, but I think it's very, very important in order to build that amazing relationship with yourself. So moving on to the next one, the next thing you can do, and I'm actually going to show you because I actually have one of these. So this is my joy jar. I created it, I think maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember where I actually got the idea from. It might have been Pinterest, but what I want you to do is I want you to go buy a jar. I want you to fill it up with small little notes to yourself. I want it to be positive affirmations. I want it to be words of kindness, words of encouragement, words of joy, anything that you think you will need to hear at that time when you are feeling what you're feeling. I want you to write all of these on different color sticky notes and put them in that jar. These will be for your tough days or when you just need that extra boost in the day. Pull out a note and relive that moment of positivity. So for me, on my ones, you can do whatever you want to do, but this is what my ones have. So yellow ones are for the daily I am affirmations. So any days where I feel like I need a boost for myself, as me as an individual, my personality, my mindset, I will take out the I am affirmations. I then have the green ones are for motivation and inspiration. So anytime I'm feeling down or maybe demotivated, I will pull out a green one and that will help to boost that. And then my last one is read to boss up, boss lady, hype man kind of stuff. And I'm just gonna do some examples for you in this video so you guys can kind of see what it is. So I'm just gonna do one of each color that you guys are aware. I remember I showed my boyfriend this and he thought it was so cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. But so the first one is the yellow one. So this is an example of an I am affirmation, and this is what it says. It says, I am grateful. So I know it's not a lot, but I feel like you need to be grateful in this life. It's very, very important to be grateful. You can decide if you want to put the sticky note back in, but I feel like I leave mine out because that's obviously what was supposed to be heard at that very moment. So I take it out, and then maybe when it finishes, I will refill it back up. But it's up to you. You guys can fold that note and put it back in if you feel like that's something you would want to hear again and again and again. But I'm going to shuffle this up just to make sure like I'm not getting anything like similar. So the next one, an example of a green one. So this is for motivation and inspiration / inspiration. This is what it says. It says, set some goals, stay quiet about them, smash the shit out of them, clap for your damn self. Listen, I feel like that was needed for this video. That was needed. Clap for your damn self. Yeah? I want you guys to comment that in the comments down below. I want you to clap for your damn self. Okay? And then the last one is the pink ones. There's orange ones in here, but I don't know what the orange ones are for because they're not listed. We might just do a cheeky orange one, to be honest. But let's see what the boss up one says. Ooh, kind of like this one. It says, divas don't do drama, we do business. You know what? I feel like this fits so well with my last video, how I'm slowly upgrading my life. And if you guys haven't watched that, I will link that in the description and up in the top. Because I spoke about how I was in a lot of like mix-up, a lot of drama. I didn't really like it. This is me. I don't do mix-up. I don't do drama. I do business. I want to get my coins. Let's do a cheeky orange one because I feel like I'm actually enjoying this. Let's just see what this one's about. I might be able to categorize it after. Oh, I think this is to do with like love, but this is what it says. It says, you carry so much love in your heart. Give some to yourself. Tell me that was not for this video. Because what are we talking about in here? We're talking about building our relationship with ourselves. And I feel like we've covered this. You carry so much love in your heart. Give some to yourself. Oh my God. I actually forgot how much I love this jar. If I'm going to be totally honest, I haven't used this jar in a minute. But when I was doing this video and building my relationship, I remember the important role that this jar played. So do you know what? I'm bringing this jar back. So yeah, you can get a jar from anywhere. You can get it from supermarket, these little bits and bob stores like B&M, Wilkinson's. Sorry, I'm naming shops in the UK. In the US, you probably can go to Target. Yeah, Target, that's the biggest one I know. There's like a home and craft store, do you know what I mean? And then obviously sticky notes, you can get that from multiple locations. And just literally decide what you want them to be about. It could be positive affirmations. It could be something you need for when you're sad or when you feel lonely. It could be Bible scriptures, or it could be anything related to confidence, or when you have low self-esteem, or you know, words of love or encouragement. Literally choose the categories. Think about what you would want to hear, like, or what you go through a lot. If you feel like you go through loneliness or not, or a bit frequent, get some stuff in it to stop you from feeling lonely. If you feel like you suffer with low self-esteem and low confidence a lot, choose one of the colors that will help you to boost your confidence and your self-esteem, all these kind of things. You have to tailor it to yourself and what you need. Obviously, this is what I needed at the time. I feel like they still do relate to me as a person, because I feel like all of them are important to me. And like you said, to this video, I feel like it hit the nail on the head. But I feel like this is something you can do like literally this weekend or next week or when you next get paid. It's inexpensive, and I feel like it will genuinely help you to boost that relationship with yourself. So I feel like, yeah, let me know if you guys do create your joy jars, and if you do, tag me on Instagram. And if you guys are not following me on Instagram, what is you doing? Like, I thought we were friends by now. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I post them there every single day, and I want to see your joy jars when you create them, if you create them. So let me know how that goes. We're gonna move on to the next point. So the next thing I want you to do is monthly check-ins. I kind of do this with myself on my monthly reflection videos that you guys see every single month. That kind of allows me to have like a really deep dive to like reflect on me, what's going on, how I feel, how my month went, my goals and everything. That's more like a monthly reset, so you might not want to go in that depth. But I would like you to do like a monthly check-in. Maybe you go out on a date somewhere by yourself, maybe to a cafe, maybe to a spa, and you literally just take that time to check in. The same way you check in with your girls, or you guys catch up and have that little girl chat. You see how they're doing, see what's going on in their lives, because you ain't seen them in X, Y, Z. You need to start doing it yourself, but at least once a month. Make some time for yourself, take yourself out and check in. And when you do this as well, I want you to ask these questions. What am I proud of this month? What did I learn from my challenges this month? What can I improve? This will help you to track your growth journey, and it will help you to stay on track with your emotions, which is very, very important when building a relationship with yourself. So monthly check-ins is something we can start doing straight away. And it will tie in to you spending quality time with yourself. You see how that works? So something you can start doing today, but imagine doing it over a long period of time. That's you spending time with yourself whilst you're checking in and, you know, seeing your journey and regulating your emotions. Do you know what I mean? So you see how they're interlinking? Like, I ain't chatting in this video. So the next one, this one, I won't lie to you guys. I didn't like do it at first. I thought it was weird. I ain't gonna cap. But I want you to compliment your reflection. Whenever you look in the mirror, make it a habit to say something kind to yourself. It could be something as simple as, you're doing great, I'm proud of you, you look good, your hair looks nice, I like this outfit, you've made me proud. This small practice reinforces positive self-talk and builds self-appreciation over time. Again, I feel like this ties into self-compassion a little bit, where you're speaking nice to yourself. You know, you're getting that negative critic out of your head. You're getting those thoughts that are not even your own out of your head about yourself. And you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna love what you see. And you're gonna build that over time. It's like, again, with your friends. When you see your friends and they're looking good, or they've done something, or you're proud of them for something, you let them know. Let yourself know too. When you look in that mirror, I want you to look in that mirror and be proud of what you see, what looks back at you. I want you to love who you see. I want you to look in there and you're proud to, you know, that's me looking at me. Oh shit, is this what we doing? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So I want you to start doing that. And no excuse, because it don't cost a dime. I know you've got a mirror in your house. I know you got a mirror in your house. In that bathroom, I don't want to hear no excuses. Don't get twisted. Like I said in the beginning, like, it makes you feel weird and cheesy at first, but when you start doing it regularly, you ain't even gonna know. It's gonna be second nature. You're just gonna walk into the mirror, you wake up, you get out of your bed, you're getting ready, you're going on a night out, whatever. You're just gonna look at yourself and you're gonna be like, yeah, damn, you did that. I love you. I'm proud of you. You look good. That is how I want you to speak to yourself. Okay. So the next one, I haven't done it myself, but the reason why I mention this is because I remember when this woman, I can't remember her name, but she was trending on TikTok for her Who's My Husband videos, and she got made a lot of money from it, from her TikTok series, which is telling her story. If I can remember her, I will put her out on the screen to go check it out. But one thing she said in the video that I found like very intriguing was, she said she would voice notes, like she would store voice notes like of herself, like she was like a what was the word she used? She basically said like at the time she was voice noting how she was feeling and everything she was going through, because I think she couldn't believe it, so she was like voice noting it, so like she could, like, I don't know if she could play it back, but it was because I think it's to help regulate her emotions in it. But I feel like that was a really, really good idea, because when you're building that relationship with yourself, when you're getting to know yourself, you might not want to journal, you might not want to do the handwriting, you might not want to do the typing. So the voice notes is the next best thing. It's like having a conversation with your friend, but you're doing it on voice notes. It will help to capture your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas in a powerful way. It's such a powerful way to hear you speak your truth, and can be very uplifting when playing it back, especially during your reflection. So I want you to look at it like that. If you're not really the journaling type and you don't think journaling's for you and you don't want to do all of that, try recording voice notes to yourself. I know sometimes to listen back to your voice might sound cringe, because I'm like that when I send voice notes to people. When I play it back, I'm like, so, but if you're okay with listening to yourself, I feel like this could really, really work well for you. Try it out. Again, voice notes is not going to cost you anything. You've got a voice memo on your phone. You can start recording stuff. You don't need to set up no camera. Just sit there and have a conversation like you would on the phone, and come back to it a year later and see how much you've grown in your relationship with yourself. So the last thing that I think it would be a great way of building a relationship with yourself is creating a personal manifesto. I know you're probably thinking, what the f is you talking about? I want you to write down a manifesto that represents your values, your dreams, and who you aspire to be. It's kind of like similar to what I was saying before, like when I was telling you about your future self and write the letter. I want you to make like a vision board, let's call it that. But it's going to be for your future self. Like, what is it you're aspiring to be? What is it you're aspiring to dress like? Who is it you want to become? How do you speak? How do you carry yourself? What do people say about you when you walk into a room? All of these kind of questions you're going to need to answer in this manifesto. You're going to make very clear statements like, I choose growth over fear, or I am worthy of my own time and attention. And this vision board, the same vision board like you would create with your goals and your aspirations, but this one's going to be more personal. It's going to be about you and how you want to be, how the relationship you want to build, and how you want to carry yourself. And you're going to look at that every single day to remind you of the relationship you're trying to build with yourself. Again, you could use the template down below that I've left. It will have some questions that can help you to answer. If you want me to update that, I can, but I would need feedback, so you guys have to download the free one and let me know. But yeah, use that, and like I said, in the template you can import pictures of yourself where you can have you in the middle and then everything you're aspiring to be like on the side. I'm telling you, look at the screen right now, this is kind of what it's looking like, and really build that personal manifesto. And that is how we're gonna build that amazing relationship with ourselves. We're gonna be our bestest of best friends. Like, we're gonna be a better best friend to ourselves than our best friend currently is. Like, sorry best friend, you're getting replaced by me. So that kind of brings us to the end of this video, and I just want to thank you for spending this time with me and listening to the tips and tricks on how you can build that amazing relationship with yourself. Definitely let me know how it goes, and if any of these have helped you, let me know in the comments, and whatever it is you decide to do. Definitely follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram, and let's connect. And if you like the video, if it's helped you in any way, or anything in this video you found useful, definitely subscribe, and I will definitely catch you in my next one. Okay, love you, bye.